You ever follow a LangChain tutorial and suddenly everything breaks? 1 week ago it worked, and today you are buried under errors like attribute error, runnable sequence object has no attribute run. It's not you, it's not your code, it's LangChain. In this video, I'll show you why LangChain tutorials keep breaking and how to fix that mess step by step. LangChain is evolving fast, maybe too fast. With version 0.3, they dropped two major changes. The first one is switched from Pydantic version 1 to version 2, and both of them are not plug and play compatible. They deprecated the core components like LLMChain and killed the classic .run method. They also split the main package into smaller ones like LangChain OpenAI, LangChain Community, etc. So if you are following a YouTube tutorial or a GitHub repo from past few months, it's likely broken now. But don't worry, we are going into error clinic next. I'll give you real examples of what breaks, why it breaks, and how to fix it using the latest LangChain syntax. Alright guys, now let's go through the most common errors which developers are facing because of this LangChain's latest update. This is the first one guys. Here in this use case, we are using Pydantic. And for those who don't know what Pydantic is, just let me tell you. Pydantic is the Python library which we use for data validation. Like you basically define a data structure just like the one which we did here. This model expects attribute revenue of float data type and another attribute profit margin also of float data type. And then we ask the model LLM to generate a structured output of this kind, not just a plain text. That means the LLM will generate this kind of output only guys, it will not generate this kind of plain text. For example, if it has to generate the revenue of the current financial year is 52 lakhs, the profit margin is 20 lakhs, it will not generate like this guys. Once we wrap the LLM into this with structured output report summary, the class which we defined here, it will generate the output in this structured format only guys. Okay, so this is what Pydantic is, and this is very helpful, this is very useful for us whenever we want to act our LLM as an API. The response will be like JSON, it will be very clean, and it type definitions are also done. It is very useful guys. This is perfect for things like summarizing financial reports. But the thing is, in the latest update of LangChain, what they did is they switched from Pydantic version 1 to version 2. So when we write here Pydantic, by default the LangChain version 3 will assume that we are referring to Pydantic version 2. But in the Pydantic version 2, what happened is this base model class which you are seeing, it has let me tell you what base model class is guys. Basically base model class, it has a method validate. Base model dot validate method was there in Pydantic version 1 previous versions. It is now deprecated. You can see the line on it, it got striked guys. That means the method validate in class base model is deprecated, we can see here. So that means we cannot use this method. It cannot be used in Pydantic version 2. It can only be used in Pydantic version 1. And why it is using Pydantic version 2 instead of Pydantic version 1 is LangChain. LangChain has updated. It has switched from Pydantic version 1 to version 2. By default, it will use Pydantic version 2 only unless you tell it to use Pydantic version 1. So how to fix the issue guys? If you try to run this code, this is the older version guys, this is the previous version before LangChain 3 got updated. This is the previous version. If you try to run this code, you will see this error guys. Type error, base model dot validate takes 2 positional arguments but 3 were given. This error you will get to see. Why? Because of the update. It is using LangChain version 3. It by default it assumes Pydantic is version 2. So what you need to do is you need to shift from Pydantic version 2 to version 1. you need to explicitly say it that we want to use Pydantic version 1. So I'll show you the modified code, guys. This is the latest one. Just let's see it side by side. The right side one, which you can see it, it is the latest updated version, guys. Here you can see we are explicitly telling it to import the base model class from Pydantic version 1. So Pydantic from Pydantic version 1 dot version 1 import base model. So because of this, LangChain will understand, okay, we want to use Pydantic version 1, not version 2. Then you can use it. You can use it, guys. It will work as expected. It will restore the compatibility. So once we fix this one, guys, from just writing Pydantic to explicitly informing it Pydantic.1, we will get the output which we have expected, guys. This kind of output we will get. Now LLM will be able to give us this kind of structured output. We will not get this error again, guys, which we have got previously, like base model dot validate. This error we will not get again, guys. We will get the output which we are expecting just because of changing the import from Pydantic.v1. And there is one more thing, guys. Here previously we used to use LLM.run, but that's not going to run now, guys. It is deprecated. It's outdated now. We need to use LLM.invoke. We need to use LLM.invoke, guys. And also this one also, guys. Previously we used to import OpenAI from LangChain import OpenAI, but we cannot do it now. We need to import OpenAI from LangChain OpenAI, because previously everything was bundled in this single package, guys. LangChain only, like vector stores, tools, OpenAI, etc. All the stuff was bundled in this single package. But in the latest version 3, the team has split the package into smaller packages actually, like LangChain OpenAI, LangChain community, and so on, so that they can keep the things isolated. All the relevant things they are keeping in the relevant packages. So to import OpenAI, you need to write LangChain OpenAI, guys. So let's move to the next use case, guys. This is the second use case. Here we are trying to create a chain by joining this LLM tools together using the pipe operator, and we want to generate a response. We want to get an output from this, guys. So previously everyone used to use the chain.run method before the LangChain 0.3 version came. But now the things have changed. LangChain has dropped a new standard, guys. It is LCEL, that is LangChain Expression Language. And in this, the chain object is not a chain object with the dot run method, guys. Now the chain object will have dot invoke method. It will have dot invoke method, guys. It will not have dot run, because the chain is now a runnable. It is not a chain. It is now a runnable. This object is a runnable. So runnable will have dot invoke method. It is built around dot invoke method. It is not having dot run. So to make this chain run, you need to write chain.invoke. Here is the modified code, guys. You just replace dot run with dot invoke, and that's it. The error is gone. You will not see the error. If you try to run this one, guys, chain.run, you will get to see this error, attribute error. Runnable sequence object has no attribute run, because the chain is actually runnable sequence object. It has no attribute called run, so it will throw an error. So we need to replace run with invoke. Now you will get the desired expected output, guys. Now let's move to the third use case. So the next use case is around something called LLMChain, guys. Before this update of LangChain 0.3 version, the most common way to build a chatbot or a prompt response pipeline was using this LLMChain. It would handle the prompt and the model for you. You would just call it using the dot run method by giving your own data as input. So this is how it used to work previously, guys. We used to import the LLMChain from LangChain.chains package, and also the prompt template, and also the OpenAI from LangChain package. And we used to create an LLM chain object. We would pass the LLM and the prompt which we have initialized just before, and then form the chain. We used to call that chain using the dot run method with our own input. This is how it was. This is the story of the previous version, guys. But now it will break because the LLM chain got deprecated. It is officially deprecated now. So if you try to execute this code, you will get this error, guys. LangChain deprecation warning. The class LLM chain was deprecated. Or sometimes in the worst case, you will not even get to see this error, guys. It will be silent. It will not just. It won't work. To fix this issue, this LLM chain has been replaced by something called as LCEL, LangChain Expression Language, which is basically LangChain's new way of building pipelines using the pipe operator, guys. Here we can see it. This is how the chains are formed in the latest standard, guys. We are using the pipe operator. This is how the same logic will be implemented, but instead of using the LLM chain object, we are using the pipe operator. So we can notice the change clearly, guys. Instead of creating the LLM chain object, we are just piping the model using the pipe operator and calling it using the dot invoke method with our own input data. And this change might seem annoying at the first, but actually it's a huge improvement, guys. With this new LCL style, you can easily add more steps, guys. For example, here there are only two steps, prompt and LLM. You can also add some other step here like memory, retry, something else which you want to implement based on your requirement. You can add as many as steps you want, and it is very easier than this LLM chain. Okay, and this LCEL is modular, flexible, way more easier to debug, and you can easily extend your steps, guys. You can add even more steps here just using this simple pipe operator. So if you get warnings about this LLM chain, just don't panic. Replace this kind of thing, LLM chain, from with this pattern which uses the pipe operator and change them. Okay, this is the new standard of LangChain version 0.3 and beyond. Now this is the fourth use case, guys. This one messed with a lot of agent based projects. Suppose you are building an agent that uses the tools like weather or calendar, then you would use the initialize agent function to create an agent. We would pass the tools into it. These are the tools which we pass into this agent. We would pass the LLM which we have just initialized here. We would also pass this parameter agent type. We would give some type of the agent, zero short react description, like this kind of agent we are passing, and we create the agent, call it using the dot run method, and it would work. But now if you try to do this, it will not work, guys. You will get an import error. This error you will get, import error, cannot import name initialize agent from LangChain.agents, because the reason is initialize agent function has been removed, guys. It is not deprecated, it is removed. To implement this same logic by following the latest code, latest version of the LangChain, this is how you need to implement it, guys. From the same package, from LangChain.agents only, you need to import create react agent and this another thing also, agent executor. Now what, how you should use this is, both of these things remain same, guys. This is how tools were in the previous version also. This is how the LLM was initialized in the previous version also. The thing which is changed is react agent is equal to create react agent. We will use this one to initialize the agent by passing LLM and tools into it. So this is the agent which we have initialized, and then we create an agent executor. This is responsible for execution of the agent, guys. This executor is initialized by agent executor, and we will pass the agent which we have created just now into it, and also the tools. This executor now has access to the agent and also the tools. So we call it by using the dot invoke method. Okay, now it will work as we expected, guys. And the reason for this change is LangChain, the latest version of LangChain has modularized everything, guys. We are explicitly telling it to create the agent using this constructor like create react agent, and execution is handled by this agent executor. We are isolating it, guys. Now this will give us more consistency and control, guys, especially as more agent types are added. Development of them will become easy for us. So initialize agent has been removed, and create react agent and agent executor are being used now. And also we need to pass the input in this format, guys. We need to pass the input as a dictionary. Okay, and we are using dot invoke, not dot run. Just like we used to use in the previous one, we are using dot invoke. Now this is our next use case, guys. Here we are trying to build a RAG pipeline. The error comes because of assuming that we can connect the retriever directly to the LLM with a structured output which has a Pydantic model here. This is where we get error, guys. Actually what's happening here is, in RAG pipeline we have a vector DB. In this case we are using Chroma. It will extract the documents. The retriever will retrieve the documents relevant context, and based on that context the LLM will answer the user query. So the LLM here is giving the output of a string, but the answer schema, it is a Pydantic model, it is expecting a JSON object, guys. So that's where we are getting the error. If the LLM will give the output in a JSON format, then we will not get the error. So to fix it, what we need to do is we need to ensure that we are using an LLM which is capable of generating a JSON output. So that's why in the fixed code we are specifying it to use a model. In this case we are using GPT-4o, which can generate the output in a JSON format, not just a string. And we are also enabling JSON mode is equal to true. So we are forcing the LLM to generate the output in a JSON format, so that we will not get trouble with this answer schema. And here also we are explicitly mentioning method is equal to JSON mode. Okay, so that everything is tight and locked, guys. There is no chance to get the error. So we will not get the error like expected answer schema got error. This kind of error we will not get, guys. And here we are also using the prompt. We are also using this lambda function, guys. Just let me tell you what's happening here. The retriever is retrieving the context. In this lambda function we are formatting the context into a structured data, so that we can pass it into the prompt template, because the LLM will not understand the documents as the retriever has passed it, guys. The direct output of the retriever, if we give to the LLM, it will not understand. So we need to format it. We need to format it and convert it into a prompt. Then we should pass it into the LLM. Then only we will get the output exactly in the desired way, guys. So guys, this is the next use case. Here we are importing the conversation buffer memory from a package called memory, which is located inside the conversation package, which is located inside the chains package, which is located inside the LangChain package. This was the older version, guys. Previously this is how we used to import the conversation buffer memory. But now, since the LangChain's latest version has modified packages, it focused on modularizing the architecture. So this conversation buffer memory, we will find it in the memory package. This one is now located in LangChain community package, guys. So we need not write this one langchain.chains.conversation.memory. We just directly import this conversation buffer memory from LangChain community.memory. And guys, this yellow color line you are getting to see is because I have not installed this package in my environment. So you are seeing this error. This package is installed in my device, so we are not getting any kind of error here. And guys, I'm not at all an expert. I am also learning this stuff just like you. So if you find any errors or any mistakes in my explanation or in the code, please drop the comment. Your feedback will help me in improving myself, guys. There you have it. Now you know the real reasons why LangChain tutorials keep breaking, and how to patch things up using the latest LangChain 0.3 syntax. And if this saved you time and frustration, do me a favor, like, subscribe, and drop the weirdest LangChain error you have been facing in the comments. And in the next video, we will set up a LangChain project using Poetry and Docker. No more broken notebooks. You are gonna get a real modular LangChain project, not a throwaway demo.